All right. So again, we're going to do the first category in this video. The first category is cash, okay? Cash properties. Okay, so once we log in, and I'll give you the login for this, we're going to go to search. We're going to go to residential quick, okay? That brings you up to this page. For cash properties, we're just going to look at the sold. Okay, so we're going to check off just the sold. And this right here is the date. The date we're going to give you. But for you to know, we're going to do this every quarter. And it's going to be for the last quarter. Okay? So let me just clarify that a little bit more. So let's say you start on October 2nd. Okay? There are 4 quarters, right? Just put that right here. Q1 is 1/1 to 3/31. Okay? That's quarter 1. Okay? Quarter 2 is April 1st to 6/30, June 30th. Okay? Quarter 3 is July 1st to September 30th. Okay? And then so on and so on. Basically, and then the last quarter is 10/1 to 12/31. And this is always, okay? It's always the case. Do you get this? Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. So let me just give you an example. If today is, we're always going to do the last quarter. So if today is July 5th, we're going to research the last quarter, which is quarter 2. Okay? So if today was July 5th, I would put in here 4/1/2017 to 6/30/2017. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So, that's for that, okay? For the purposes of your first task, since this is the first time we're doing this, what you're going to do is do the entire year up to today's date. So you're going to do 1/1/17 to 9/29. Okay? All right. That's the dates. Okay, and the way that we're going to be doing this is we're going to be doing zip codes. So we're going to be giving you, let's say, 10, 15, 20 different zip codes, and you're going to do it zip code by zip code. Okay? So what you're going to do is 336, hang on, actually. Okay, so we got the date right. Then we're going to choose a zip code. So 33701 is what we're going to do. The first category, like I said, we're going to do is all cash. So right here, you scroll down to all cash, right? You see that it's 251 now, right? Lastly, what we're going to do is property style. And we're going to only select single family and townhouse, okay? So now we have 68 matches. What we're going to do is we're going to go through, hang on one second. Alright, so now what you're going to do is go to results, okay? So again, we just did this. We got the sold date, we got the property style, we got all cash. Those are the only things you need to put in, and then you put in the zip code, okay? Stop me if you have any questions. Then we're going to go to results. What we're going to do is we're going to select all right here. We're going to export this baby. Oh, shoot. Okay, so remember you click all, and the way that you're going to know that is the 68 is going to be the same thing. Okay, so make sure to click this button right here that says all. Then you go to export. Okay. After you click export, you're going to do cash buyer export. You're going to export that, and then it's going to pull this up right here, this beautiful thing that has all the information that we need. So, hang on. Okay, there you go. So this is what came out, okay? So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make this a table. Okay? Now we have the address, we have the list agent with the phone, we have the selling agent with the phone, right? Now, again, we're doing just cash properties right now. So for just cash, we're only concerned with the selling agent. Okay. The reason for that is because we want to know who the buyer is for that bought this property all cash. Okay, so you know the reasoning behind it. Okay. If we go back to results, all these 68 properties right here, these were all listed here and they were sold on the market. And whoever bought them for cash. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So, what we're going to do now, once we have this exported, is we're actually going to delete the listing agent because we don't care about the listing agent. Okay. We're going to delete the listing agent. So we're just dealing with the selling agent. Okay. And the close price. We can move the close price over here. And that's that. Okay. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to add a box here that says owner. Okay. Now really, it's more a buyer. Okay. So the buyer is here. Okay. And then after buyer is type of buyer. Okay?
Okay.
So I'm going to explain to you what these mean, but just know that you have to create these. Okay? So if we go back, the next step is to actually go through every single one of these properties. So this is going to take some time, but that's why we're going to hire you almost full time if you have the time. We're going to go through one by one. Okay? And we're going to see, okay, look, what we're trying to find is distressed properties, properties that need a lot of renovation. You know, you've probably had experience with this before. Most of the properties that, you know, all these properties were bought cash, but not all of them are investment properties. What we're looking for are investment properties, and this is, and how you find them, I'm going to show you. Is like this. Okay, what things that we're looking for? We're looking for, if it has like one picture, usually that's an investment property. Anything that says fixer upper or as is or investor special. Okay.
Yes. Like handyman special.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. So you're aware. Okay.
Yes. TLC.
Exactly. Perfect. That makes me a lot more comfortable that you already know this. So, would you say that this one is an investment property? Hello?
Rehab is yes, it's also investment property because it's short sale, fixer upper.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay. So now the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go to the tax record. So if you click this first one right here, this is the tax record. Okay? And the reason we're doing that is because we want to know who is the buyer for this property. So the buyer for this property was Fairfax Buyers LLC. So that's who bought the property. That is who we are going to want to get in contact with who we're going to want to call. So boom, we found our first buyer, okay? And it's going to be, we're going to do this, Fairfax Buyers LLC. Now, this next part is type of buyer. The types of buyers that there are, okay? Are rehabber, okay?
Okay.
Developer, okay? Buy, hold, realtor, and wholesaler. But actually, you don't even have to worry about wholesaler. It's just one of these four, okay? And I'm going to explain to you what they mean. Rehabber is probably the most common. It means that they rehab properties, and I think you're already familiar with that term, right? Sanjeev.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, I think you're already familiar. You know what rehabber means, right? You know what a rehabber is.
Yes, rehabbers that provides a little bit investment on the property.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Yes.
but let me explain to you more detail. A rehabber takes a property like this, renovates it, and then resells it, right?
Yes.
So that's the majority of what we're looking for, which is why it's number one. And this one says fixer-upper, short sale. Anything that's going to be all cash is typically going to be a rehabber. You're going to look at the type of property, and if it's just a standard house that just needs a lot of work, then it's going to be a rehabber. Okay, always. Okay.
Yes.
So right here we're going to put rehabber. I'm going to get to the other ones, and I'll show you what they are. Okay. So what are we looking for here? We're looking for all the investment properties, and these are all in the same order, okay, that the other ones are in. Okay. So this is 615 13th Avenue. You know what? I'm sorry. One thing I forgot to mention was we want to organize it always by price. So you see how it's already organized by price? So lowest to highest. Okay?
Ascending order, in the ascending order.
Yes. So you just click that. Current price. There you go. Okay?
Yes.
So the next one. Well, actually, I don't think it was in ascending order the first time. Because look, it went from 29 to 40, 36. All right. For the purposes of this video, we're just going to delete this one. Okay? And move on to the next one. Okay. So the next one is 651 Newton. Okay? Now, here we have this one. Typically, most of the properties that are going to be a very, very cheap price like this, all cash, most of them are probably going to be investment properties, okay?
Yes.
So again, one picture, we look at the description, there's no real description. Another giveaway is usually an LLC. So let's look at the tax record for this guy. And this one's an owner, okay? So I would not put this one in because this one was just an owner. Okay, it's not an LLC that bought it, okay? All right? Does that make sense, or do you have questions?
Yes. Can you let me know that the type of buyer in this case?
No. What we're going to do, okay, so I'm going to tell you right now. So anyone that, we're not looking for investment property. So anyone that's not an investment property, I'm going to go ahead and just say it's not an investment property for this one. We're going to go ahead and delete them from the Excel sheet right here.
But how you can judge that this is not an investment property?
Well, to be honest, for this one specifically, when you're in doubt, just put it in. I would rather you leave it in than delete it, okay? But for this specific one, I already pulled the tax record up, and then, the owner was not an LLC also. If you look down to the remarks, it says for statistical purposes only, okay? Really, like, the main thing is, like, it was not an LLC. Typically, I think people usually buy things in LLCs. Hello, in the middle of a meeting, but yeah, go ahead and confirm the wire for 7,000. You're welcome. Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay. So, but when you're in doubt, I'll show you more examples of something that's not an investment property. Okay. When you're in doubt, just add it in. I won't get mad at you for leaving something in and saying that that it's a buyer. Okay.
You mean to say that if I have any doubt, then I will delete that?
No. The opposite. If you're in doubt, leave it in. So I'm gonna go back on what I said and say I'm gonna say, okay, go ahead and leave this one in. Okay. We're gonna say Audrey Smith owns it. Okay. Hello? Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So again, this is the tax record. We're going to go ahead to the owner and say Audrey Smith. Okay. So we'll go this way. And then it's going to be the same thing, rehabber. Okay?
Okay.
I'll show you the differences in a few. So we're going to go to the next one. Boom. Fixer upper. Perfect. Definitely an investment property. We're going to go to that tax record again. Lipari 52 Corp. Okay?
That's the corporation.
Yep. Same thing, rehabber. Most of these are going to be rehabs, okay?
Okay.
I'm going to explain to you this one. The only thing you're really looking for is rehabber, developer, or buy and hold. Realtor, you already know. Realtor is this guy right here, right? So the only thing you're trying to differentiate is if it's a rehabber or if it's a developer. Buy and hold is somebody that wants to buy a property and rent it out. They don't want to buy it and resell it, okay? But there is a specific search for that called income, okay? And I'll get to that. But really it's just either a rehabber or a developer. What a developer is a developer buys land and builds a new home on it.
Yes.
Or he buys a current house. See how this says tear down and build? Right?
Yes.
But really, for the purposes of this, it's going to be really easy. For all the cash properties, right? Just put all of them as rehabber. Okay?
Okay.
So, what we're going to do, we're going to do one more example. Great rental investment property opportunity. See, this is a perfect example, actually. Rental investment. Okay, you see that? Rental. Rental and buy and hold is the same thing. Okay?
Okay.
So for this one, you would actually put buy and hold. Okay, you would see who bought this property. Hang on, give it a second to load. Del Rahim Investments. Okay?
Okay.
Whoops. So, I would go there, Del Rahim Investments, buy, hold. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Let me know if you have questions, okay?
No, it's all clear.
Okay. Another one, investment property sold as is, right?
Yes.
It's
also an example of buy and hold because it is stated and rented home.
Yeah. Yep. So buy and hold. Yep. Okay. Okay, so we would look up the owner for this. All right. And we would put buy and hold. Now, I want you to be aware of something. Sometimes, if it's very recent, if let's say the sold date was yesterday, the tax record might not be updated with the current owner. Okay? So if it was, let's say this property sold August 4th, if it was August 5th and I click this, this might not say Boatswain LLS LLC. It'll probably say the people who owned it before them, which was these guys, right? Okay, makes sense? So just something to be aware of. The way that you can double check that is the date. So if you scroll down here, you go to last market sale and sales history. You look at the date. Sale date right here, 7/31, or recording date, I'm not sure which one it is. And you double check that with this right here. And yeah, 8/4. So 8/4, 8/4, and then this is the buyer name. Okay? All making sense? Sanjeev, does it all make sense?
Yes, it's all clear.
Okay, great. All right, let me try to look for something that is not an investment property. So this is perfect right here. Look, anything that says move in ready, right? Look at this description. It's very long. You know, usually the investor or investment properties, the description is really obvious. You know, it's like fixer-upper, handyman special, as is, you know, investor special, whatever it is, TLC, all that stuff, right? And it's usually really short. If it's long, there's a nice description, move-in ready, home features this and that. It's not the buyer that we're looking for, okay?
Okay.
So these guys right here, I guarantee you it's a person. See, it's not an LLC, but it's an owner. That makes sense?
Yes.
So this is a perfect example. So what we would do is we would simply delete this guy. So 125 11th Avenue. Right here. Boom. Delete. Okay?
Okay.
And that's it. So let's pretend that that you did all of this, right? Let's pretend that it's all done and this is the entire list that you have, okay?
Okay.
Now, actually that is all, okay? This is the first video, and this is obviously going to be a lot longer of a video, but the next video is going to be about the, so we have the next category of properties. The first one was cash. The next one is going to be renovated. The third one is going to be income, right, or rentals. And then the last one is going to be land, okay? And I'm going to show you all this, okay? So that is it for this video. And the next video will explain what to do after, how to get the agent emails, and how to get the phone numbers for the buyers, okay?